felt he wanted me to shave my hair. Silent Night I wasn't the lead.
Funny enough, but you stuck out.
Funnily enough, I was in the lead. The lead was Ramsey Noah. It was the lead in the movie. So we shot Silent Night and we did what we had to do, and boom. Before we knew it,
okay, so
heavy.
How much were you paid?
Ha!
I just
Lie. He will not answer this one. Lie. That's black man for you. If this our uncle Shegu Arinze was to be a European or born in America, he would just tell you there's nothing to hide. But because of the witches and wizards hovering all around their corners, they wouldn't say. They will not say, how much are you paid? Ha! Imagine that type of hallucination. Ha! Somebody can even get BP. Asking me how much I was paid. Can you imagine since the years? Yet he's been hesitant to say how much he was paid. Those are the people now clamoring for Peter Obi. Look at all of them. There is nothing interesting here for me to watch. I just want my sweet followers to see you people.
How much were you paid?
A European would just say it. There is nothing hidden. You cannot come and steal it from him or her. But Africa, even a woman is pregnant. You are seeing the pregnancy protruding. It's vividly. Someone can see it. It will tell you, no, I'm not pregnant too. Negativity because of their too much diabolism. Negativity. As old as he is, he's lying. He's hiding how much they were paid. Yesterday, decades ago when they started. That's one Nigeria.
We did what we had to do, and boom. Before we knew it,
okay, so
heavy.
How much were you paid?
Ha!
Imagine the hallucination.
I feel like this is a question a lot of people don't ask.
On global TV.
On global TV. Can you imagine it?
But as at that time, as at that time was good.
So that time it was good.
At that time, the pay
Look at all of them.
Was relatively good.
If I see Tinubu and Atiku, I will ask them to step down for Peter Obi. They go. Look at all of you. If you see Tinubu and Atiku, you don't know where they are. You don't know where they all are.
To bolster chances in the 2022 national elections, which hold in 178 days from now. Nigerians in the diaspora have formed groups of committees to launch crowdfunding initiatives for the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. A report by a sister publication, This Day newspaper, says Obi's supporters plan to unveil in the coming days a crowdfunding portal with a target of raising
Afọ jejalia afọ chachalia afọ chachalia afọ jejalia onye ọma bekee Andy wee gbuo m onye adịnụ ka nwa onye nwa iji wee ma Andy wee gbuo m ọ dị ka onye nwa iji wee ma Andy wee gbuo m. Look at all of you. Fele megbukwa gị Andy gbuo m. Fele megbukwa gị. Fele megbukwa nnọọ gị. Chei, Chineke mekwelu gị ebele. Nenu unu ncha na-ekpuchi okpu ndị ọcha. Okpu gịnị ka a na-akpọ nke a? Gịnị ka a na-akpọ biko red? Unu tie n'isi na-aghọsa arụmanị. Echikịta efutakwasị na ịchọrọ ịbụ gịnị? Echikịta efuta na ịchọrọ ịbụ gịnị? Ịchọrọ ịbụ gịnị nwoke m? Fele megbuchakwa unu di a. Ndị Fulani unu ya ejekwuluve a ya egosi na ịkpakwụ. Ndị Fulani ga-egosi na ịkpakwụ.
To unveil in the coming days a crowdfunding portal with a target of raising $150 million from its supporters in the diaspora and 100 billion.
Ndị Igbo ifele megbukwa nnọọ. Unu nwere 100 billion, unu nwere 300 trillion. Unu ahịa apụta for fundraising. Unu ahịa apụta for you people are not coming out for the fundraising. You have 1 million pounds dollar to give to somebody that you know that we're not from here to here. Yeah, you put oh Chineke na melu mebere. Hey, ndị Igbo. On Monday and Tuesday is declared stay at home. Okay. Is declared stay at home for Chistre Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Whether it's his court hearing, whether he's appearing or not. Please, dear friends, kindly stay home. Bikono. Bikono. Let it be, even if it's the only thank you we'll be telling him. Please, stay home on the 12th and on the 13th. Okay? Next week, Monday, and next week, Tuesday. Yeah? You stay at home for Chistre Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, please. Please. Look at them. Look at them. Shouting one Nigeria. We shall see. I ain't gafu.
It's a crowdfunding portal with a target of raising
$150
million US dollars from
they're going to sleep
supporters
us on your guy.
and $100 billion US dollars from those 100 billionaires.
Oh no, 100 billion. What nekwe file Igbo nto unu. Nenu one Nigeria na asogo. Iwe debe isi ka nke m. Na iwe billion na asogo 100 billion. Ka ijenu Dubai for shopping. Fele ye megbuchakwa nnu. Unu niile, people will put to shame. I tell you big time. Ifele ye megbu nnu. Nigeria will happen to you people. Neni o debele ọnụ ka ọkwa. Neni ye ọkwa. Fele ye mechago. Look at them. Look at them days and also. Please,
Those in Nigeria, the initiative is being driven by young, enthusiastic Nigerians in the tech sector who are making waves and yearning for new Nigeria.
Let me hear English because nobody falls on Nulo Yibonyenka. I can shout.
Welcome back to the morning show here on the Raj News. Now, without wasting time, we will now turn to our first guest, Honorable Patrick Obago, a lawyer and a member of Nigeria's ruling All Progressive Congress. Between the year 2007 and 2011, Mr. Obago represented the Oredo Federal Constituency in Edo State in the House of Representatives. He also served as Chief of Staff to the former Governor of Edo State, Adams Oshiomhole. We want to say good morning and welcome to the morning show today.
It is my pleasure to be your guest today, Aaron and Abisola. Good morning, Nigerians.
Now, relying on your political experience, how do the presidential candidates of the three major political parties come across to you in terms of acceptability and the chances in the forthcoming elections?
Let me start my prolegomena by saying that coming into this election, only two major political parties are coming into this election, and not three major political parties. And the two major political parties are the APC and the PDP. But that asseveration notwithstanding, I make bold to asseverate that even though this election is going to be contested among two major political parties, the election is throwing up three major presidential aspirants. And those three major presidential aspirants are His Excellency former Governor Peter Obi, His Excellency former Vice President of the country Atiku Abubakar, and of course the Jagaban of Bogu himself, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. How do these three presidential aspirants come to me? And what are their chances? I will start with former Governor Peter Obi. The Spartan discipline which Peter Obi has emblematized is simplicity, is courage, and is quixotic zeal for bringing about the Pax Nigeriana of our dreams. Commend itself to my patriotic palate. Another second statement I want to make about Peter Obi is that I do sincerely hope, and this is a rhetorical question to the political class, I do sincerely hope that Nigeria's parasitic and prebenda political class are learning the necessary lessons that has greeted the emergence of Governor Peter Obi. And I'm talking about the sheer emotionalism. I'm talking about the paroxysm of phrases that has greeted the emergence of Governor Peter Obi. A fervor that his supporters refer to as the obedient movement, but which I choose to describe as the emerging and surging political circle of obiistic obese. And what are these lessons to be derived here from this obiistic obese? It is that one, Nigerians, and particularly the Nigerian youth, have become completely dissatisfied. They've become...
Please, let's come again. Let's come again, because okay, English, Atiku
Abubakar. And of course, the Jagaban of Bogu himself, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Uncle!
How do these three presidential aspirants come to me? And what are their chances? I will start with former Governor Peter Obi. The Spartan discipline which Peter Obi has emblematized is simplicity, is courage, and is quixotic zeal for bringing about the Pax Nigeriana of our dreams. Commend itself to my patriotic palate. Another second statement I want to make about Peter.
Oga. What happened to simplicity in English? What happened? Can you just be... You can speak simple English for people to understand you? Okay, yeah. With all this ambiguity, guy, we will not understand all the things you are saying. You are good, though. It's sweet, though. But in all that you are saying, I can understand three without going through the dictionary. Okay. Other words, I had to go through the dictionary. Chiweji. I can't shout though.
Another second statement I want to make about Peter Obi is that I do sincerely hope, and this is a rhetorical question to the political class. I do sincerely hope that Nigeria's parasitic and prebenda political class are learning the necessary lessons that has greeted the emergence of Governor Peter Obi. And I'm talking about the sheer emotionalism. I'm talking about the paroxysm of frenzy that has greeted the emergence of Governor Peter Obi.
Uncle.
A fervor that his supporters refer to as the obedient movement, but which I choose to describe as the emerging and surging political circle of obiistic Obi. And what are these lessons to be derived here from this obiistic Obis? It is that one, Nigerians, and particularly the Nigerian youth, have become completely dissatisfied. They've become languorous. They're in a state of lassitude as to the failings and frailties of the Nigerian political class. The entire Nigerian political class, be it APC, PDP, NNPP, or what have you. That is the statement that Nigerians and Nigerian youths are making. They made that first statement.
I know where nature chose to live and stay forever, and where one day everyone will want to go back.
That led to the NSAS debate. The NSAS. That was when the Nigerian youth made that first statement that they have become completely tired of the entire political class. So the Peter Obi tendency and proclivity in our Nigerian political T-juncture just now is another re-emergence, a renewed resurgimento of that dissatisfaction. So if you ask me, I will say that Governor Peter Obi just now is only a vessel, is a receptacle of that tartness, that virulence, that acrimony, that causticity, that acerbity, that asperity, and that moroseness, with which Nigerians, and particularly the Nigerian youth, perceive of the entire Nigerian political class just now. But will Peter Obi, can Peter Obi ride on the crest and wave of this Nigerian disappointment into the comfortable bowels and bosom of the Aso Rock Villa? I said, no. I don't see that. And I say so with all sense of responsibility. And that is why I drew the crucial difference between two political parties. Short of enmeshing myself in an aqua of political namby-pambyism, I don't see how the Labour Party can muster 25% in about 24 states.
Oh my God, this man.
In this election. So Peter Obi and the Labour Party, they will come face to face with the political and electoral 12 labors of echoes. But however, I salute his courage.
Yeah.
I recognize his sincerity to want to cleanse the Nigerian audience tables. That will be my position just now on Peter Obi.
All right.
Atiku Abubakar, former vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Sure.
How does it come across to me? And what are my perception of his chances? Atiku Abubakar has not had the privilege to serve in any executive position. The only political piazza where he has served was when he came under the shadows of the looming, towering, and avuncular former President Matthew Aremu Okikiolaka Olusegun Obasanjo. Who else can give a competendu, an objective account of Atiku Abubakar more than his boss that he worked with for 8 years? The last time I checked, the competendu, or if you like, call it the report card by former President Olusegun Obasanjo and Atiku Abubakar was very unflattering, was uncomplimentary, and very damning in any material particular. Atiku Abubakar comes to me as a candidate who wants to bring about his ambition, not even caring about puncturing the fragile lines, puncturing the centripetal forces, the agglutinating forces.
There is no
that
interruption.
binds Nigeria together. Why do I say this? The PDP party constitution recognizes zoning. The 1999 constitution talks about federal character. And that was why all the southern governors and well-meaning Nigerians begged, particularly on their knees, begging all northern political dramatists personae to zone the presidency in their party to the south.
To the southeast.
Because it will be maniacally bewildering. It will be testing the patience of Job. That an Hausa Fulani Northerner in President Muhammadu Buhari, having served for 8 years, will not be replaced by another Hausa Fulani Northerner in an Atiku Abubakar. But that didn't matter much to him. I don't want to hear the fallacious argument that President Buhari was from APC. The question I ask was President Buhari or is President Buhari president of APC? President Buhari is president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So it will be a fallacy of post hoc ego propter hoc and a fallacy of petitio principi begging the question to say that President Buhari was president of APC.
Hey.
What are his chances? I believe that the political gods of federal character, I believe that the political gods of justice, I believe that the political gods of equity, I believe that the political gods of all fair-minded Nigerians who believe that the zoning principle that was constitutionalized in the PDP's constitution and that of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will not allow Atiku Abubakar to win the election. What more? We have about three PDP candidates in the race, in different political parties. Governor Peter Obi is going to dig deep, electorally lacerate and macadamize the PDP in their traditional strongholds, like the South and the Southeast. Little wonder that strategists like former Governor McAfee is already in a state of lacrimousism, begging Peter Obi to come back to his original political homestead. That is because that gentleman recognizes that the Peter Obi tendency is going to eat deep into the traditional stronghold.
We're going to have to come in there so that we can, talk about, a wide range of topics as well. It's very interesting. I love your adjectives, some very interesting adjectives you have used to describe these different parties. But let's move on a little bit to some more recent happenings and a conversation we were having just minutes ago in the studio before you joined us. How justified is Governor Nyesom Wike in his strivings within the People's Democratic Party? Would you say he's burning his bridges?
I will answer that question, but it will not be fair to me, Abisola, if I don't talk about if I don't talk about the other major presidential candidates, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Yes, please. We want to do that. We want to do that.
I will run through that yes. Talking about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is like talking about the political Oriri Bobo in jail. If you ask me, I believe that.
What did you say? Oriri Bobo in jail. Okay, let's go there.
Talk about if I don't talk about the other major presidential candidates,
Yes,
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Yes, please. We want to do that. We want to do that.
I will run through that. Yes. Talking about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is like talking about the political Oriri Bobo himself. If you ask me,
please, I stop here because please. Don't kill me. Let me go.
All the presidential candidates in the race
it's
just
okay,
now.
Biko.
That is the.
Please let me just go and let me just
that engage in self-immolation and self-abnegation and pay the price for democracy.
Mr. Bible, we're going to have to come in there so that we can, talk about, a wide range of topics as well. It's very interesting. I love your adjectives, some very interesting adjectives you have used to describe this different parties. But let's move on a little bit to some more recent happenings and a conversation we were having just minutes ago in the studio before you joined us. How justified is Governor Nyesom Wike in his strivings within the People's Democratic Party? Would you say he's burning his bridges?
I will answer that question, but it will not be fair to me, Abisola, if I don't talk about if I don't talk about the other major presidential candidates,
yes,
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Yes, please. We want to do that. We want to do that.
I will run through that. Yes. Talking about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is like talking about the political Oriri Bobo himself. If you ask me, I believe that of all the presidential candidates in the race just now, that is the candidate that engaged in self-immolation and that is the candidate that engaged in self-immolation and self-abnegation and paid the price for democracy. So it's the only one just now that can consolidate on the dividends of this democracy. And before I answer the next question, his examples in Lagos State is an exemplary gashia of good governance. A man who turned the internal revenue generation of Lagos State from a paltry 600 million to about 50 to 60 billion, introduced free education up to higher institution level, introduced free health scheme for children below the ages of 18 and adults above the ages of 65, remove Lagos from a cesspool of a dystopian state into an organized state. There's a lot of positives to talk about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and why he's the leading candidate for this election. But you say there's no time for that. On Governor Nyesom Wike, I laugh when I hear some person stigmatizing him that in recent times he has become loquacious and garrulous. For you to be able to sustain that argument, you must place a background on what is the origin of this crisis. And the origin is sufficiently in the public domain. One, the PDP constitution recognized zoning. Against the run of play, you put up a zoning committee, the Autumn Zoning Committee. And before that committee was even inaugurated, you foisted a fait accompli on PDP by throwing the presidential nomination forms open, working from end to means. Now, you went for a presidential convention against the run of play, against the breach and violation of the protocols of the convention. You yielded the convention grounds to the governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwa, to come and put to seppuku the ambition of Governor Nyesom Wike. As if that was not enough, the chairman of the party, in an act of indiscretion, was to congratulate the Sokoto State governor for doing in Wike Abba. Is the man a human being? And you say you shouldn't cry foul? As if that was enough. The presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, now put in place a committee to recommend to him a possible vice presidential nominee. Majority of that committee pointed at the direction of Wike. You displayed loath and anathema for the man. And without even having the courtesy of telling him, this is my direction. You went after school, open air, that is, and made your announcement. That was stanza 1. Stanza 2. Now we are hearing that the national chairman of PDP has stigmatized Wike, who comes along with about 3 PDP sitting governors, about 3 former PDP governors, former ministers as children.
Excuse me. I want to go away from here.
Our students
I wanna go away from here.
will feel special just for one moment in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's down to perfect manners. She always would approach people and just, as I say, for maybe a second or two, say something to them. Quite often it was the same thing. I mean, often at an investiture, she would say to somebody,
And garrulity. I say that Wike is not a mandibular.
Go and see. It's okay. It's okay, uncle. Wike is not mandibula. We have heard you. We have heard you. Wike is not mandibula. End it.
And as you're well aware, those special